Imagine this. It's a sweltering April morning in Bangkok. The air is thick, the streets are packed, and then, without warning, a complete stranger walks up to you and dumps an entire bucket of ice water over your head. You don't get angry. You laugh. Because in Thailand, getting absolutely drenched by a stranger isn't an attack, it's a blessing. Every single April, Thailand erupts into the most joyful, chaotic, and deeply meaningful celebration on Earth. More than 6 million people in Bangkok alone take to the streets. Water guns, buckets, garden hoses, and enough water to fill a small lake every single day. This is Songkran, and it is so much more than a water fight. Welcome back. Today, we're going to peel back the surface of the world's most famous water festival, past the Instagram photos and the tourist videos, and look at what Songkran actually is, where it came from, what it means, and why in 2026, millions of people around the world still celebrate it every spring. Let's go. Here's something most people don't know. The word Songkran doesn't mean water festival. It doesn't mean New Year's party. It comes from Sanskrit, the ancient language of South Asia, and it means astrological passage, or more precisely, movement. Specifically, it refers to the moment the sun moves from one sign of the Thai zodiac to the next. April 13th, when the sun enters Aries in Thai astrology, that's the day the universe, according to ancient Thai tradition, turns a page. For centuries, this date was calculated by royal astrologers in the Thai court. These weren't guesses. These were precise astronomical calculations, deeply serious business, because the timing of the festival could determine the fortune of an entire kingdom. And here's where it gets interesting. Songkran isn't purely Buddhist. It isn't purely Hindu. It's something older and more layered, a fusion of beliefs that evolved over hundreds of years. Scholars believe it was partly inspired by the Hindu festival of Holi. It also grew out of agricultural traditions, celebrations of the rice harvest, which peaks in Thailand every April. Buddhist philosophy wove itself through the whole thing over generations. The result? A festival that is simultaneously a religious ritual, a community celebration, a harvest thanksgiving, and a cosmic fresh start, all in one. That's Songkran. Now here's where the story gets dramatic, because Songkran almost didn't survive. It's the late 1800s. Siam, then called Thailand, is navigating a dangerous world. European colonial powers are carving up Southeast Asia. Siam is under enormous pressure to modernize, to westernize, to prove it belongs on the international stage. In 1888, Siam made a massive symbolic move. It adopted a solar calendar, similar to the Western Gregorian calendar. New Year's Day would now fall on April 1st. January 1st was a generation away. Then, in 1939, another seismic shift. Siam renamed itself Thailand, a new national identity, a constitutional monarchy replacing absolute royal rule. And a year later, in 1940, Thailand officially adopted January 1st as the start of the new year. Think about what this meant for Songkran. The festival had been Thailand's official New Year's celebration for centuries, and just like that, it wasn't anymore. Most festivals that lose their official status fade away. People stop celebrating. The younger generation moves on. Within a few decades, there's nothing left. That didn't happen here. Instead, Songkran did something remarkable. It reinvented itself. It shed its official calendar role, but kept its soul. It held on to the Buddhist rituals, the community bonds, the water symbolism. And then it opened the doors wide, welcoming tourists, adding music festivals, evolving into something that spoke not just to Thai Buddhists, but to the whole world. Today, UNESCO, the United Nations Cultural Agency, officially recognizes Songkran as part of the world's intangible cultural heritage. It didn't just survive, it became globally irreplaceable. So, what does Songkran actually look like on the ground? The day before the festival begins, Thai families do a deep clean. Homes, courtyards, sometimes even public spaces. This isn't just tidying up, it's symbolic. You are physically sweeping away the old year, making space, literally and spiritually, for what comes next. Then, April 13th arrives. People visit Buddhist temples, and here, the water rituals begin in their most sacred form. Worshippers gently sprinkle water over statues of the Buddha. Not splashing, not soaking, sprinkling with reverence and intention. The act carries a specific meaning: purification, merit-making, washing the past clean. Monks receive water poured over their hands. Elders, grandparents, community leaders have their hands and feet washed by younger family members. These are acts of profound respect. The scented water isn't just water, it's a gift of care.
You'll also see frogs everywhere, on decorations, on food stalls, in art. Frogs, in Thai tradition, are auspicious symbols. Why? Because a frog's croaking means rain is coming. And in a country that depends on monsoon rains to grow its food, rain is life. And then, the streets open up. What began as a sacred sprinkle becomes this. Millions of people in the streets, merchants selling bags of water and buckets and ice, trucks mounted with water tanks rolling through crowds, water guns the size of rocket launchers, and everyone, tourists, locals, elderly people, children, getting absolutely, completely, joyfully soaked. There's no escaping it. You will get wet. That is the entire point. Because every drop of water that hits you is, technically, a blessing. A stranger wishing you a fresh start, washing away whatever was bad last year and sending you forward clean. But Songkran isn't without its complications. The scale of the festival creates real challenges. In Bangkok alone, water usage spikes by roughly 100,000 cubic meters per day during the celebration. That's an enormous strain on infrastructure, and an uncomfortable fact in a country that has been grappling with serious drought. In 2024, conditions were so severe that some areas canceled Songkran water fights entirely. The very symbol of the festival, water, was simply too scarce to use for celebration. And in 2025, a magnitude 7.7 earthquake disrupted festivities in parts of the country, adding grief to what is supposed to be a time of joy. There's also the waste. Every year, the water fights leave behind enormous amounts of single-use plastic. Cleanup campaigns are massive, multi-day operations, and concerns about alcohol consumption at large Songkran events have sparked debate about how the festival is changing and what it's becoming as it grows larger every year. These are real tensions, and they matter. Because Songkran is not just a party, it's a living cultural institution, and like all living things, it has to adapt to survive. Here's what strikes me most about Songkran. It's a festival that has survived colonial pressure, calendar reforms, political upheaval, drought, and earthquakes. It has transformed from a royal astrological ceremony into a global celebration. It has kept its spiritual heart even as it grew a massive secular body around it. And at its core, underneath the water guns and the Hawaiian shirts and the tourist dollars, it's still about the same thing it always was: letting go. Washing away what no longer serves you. Showing respect to those who came before you, and stepping, clean and hopeful, into whatever comes next. There's something deeply human about that. Something that crosses every border, language, and belief system. Maybe that's why the whole world shows up for it. In 2026, Thailand has confirmed Songkran is happening. Every region, full celebration. The spirit of the festival, unchanged. And honestly, after everything the world has been through, that sounds like exactly what we need. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who love history like you do. Subscribe if you're new here. We cover the hidden stories behind the world's most extraordinary cultures and events every week. And drop a comment below. Would you do Songkran? Full water fight in the streets of Bangkok? Yes or absolutely yes? See you in the next one.